Please join me in welcoming Mr. Anand Kumar, the Chief Revenue Officer of SecureKloud Technologies, to provide insights into how organizations can overcome the common challenges in cloud journey by leveraging an integrated approach to achieve utmost security and compliance.
Hello everyone, thank you for coming, and we are SecureKloud Technologies, and we are here to discuss the future of cloud security and compliance, and also discuss about a roadmap to digital transformation and cloud transformation. So we have been involved in the journey of helping enterprise customers with their cloud transformation journey right since inception. One of the early partners of AWS. We ourselves are a company which was born on the cloud, so we don't carry any legacy IT baggages, and we will talk more about how we have helped large enterprise customers in highly regulated industries. So one thing, and as I was talking during the panel session, that India truly has crossed that chasm of why cloud, and it is more about how cloud with security, compliance, and governance. And when you are talking about cloud transformation, there is a proverb, there is a Zen proverb, and it goes like, first there is a mountain, then there is no mountain, and then there is, right? So essentially what it means is, if you don't know where you are going, you will wind up somewhere else where you don't want to be, right? So with that, let me get started. So most of the enterprises today, they have either implemented or they are in the process of implementing cloud first strategy. Near about 45 to 50%, and these are all Gartner and other agencies data, which talks about 40 to 50% of enterprise IT spending is in the public cloud, and there is near about 67% of enterprise infrastructure which is already in the cloud. But some of the major pitfalls for cloud transformation is some of the early adopters who have drank the Kool-Aid of migration. So we need to understand that cloud is not about migration, cloud is about transformation. If you bring your same data center practices in the cloud, you are doomed to fail, right? So some of the key requirements, and obviously, security, compliance, and governance is something which needs to be built from ground up. It cannot be an afterthought. Some of the key requirements and challenges for cloud transformation, as we already discussed during the panel discussion, obviously security and compliance, data privacy and security, cyber security, as we discussed. And obviously, if you are in the financial vertical, things like anti-money laundering, know your customers, and other requirements are paramount. So as cloud adoption accelerates, there is growing need to manage security risks within this dynamic environment. And as your infrastructure landscape is increasing, so is your threat surface area. And according to Gartner, and I'm quoting Gartner again and again because, this is the latest report which has come out, nearly all successful attacks on cloud services are the result of customer misconfigurations, right, and mistakes. They also predict that through 2023, at least 99% of cloud security failures will be the customer's fault. So how do you keep track of constant additions and changes to the cloud services is a question mark. How can you flag misconfigurations? That's again something that needs to be looked into. How do you focus on the alerts that signal a real threat, which is not a noise? So that is where you have to, when you talk about cloud transformation, you have to think about automation, automation and less of human intervention. So when you talk about infrastructure as a service, infrastructure as a service is equal to infrastructure as a code, right? If that becomes your principle, from there on, driving the transformation becomes easier. And obviously, taking an identity first approach to zero trust security in the cloud. So as I was telling earlier, given that we have crossed the chasm, right now what we are aiming for is a hockey stick growth, especially in the India market, right? And I'm really experiencing it when I'm talking to customers. Everybody is talking to me about their cloud first strategy, and it gives me a sense that what we saw in the US in the last 10 years, we are going to see the same over here in India in next 2 years. It's a real hockey stick growth which is going to happen. But when we are going to experience this hockey stick growth with respect to your cloud first strategy, again, security, compliance, zero trust cloud framework is something which needs to be the fundamental block of your cloud transformation journey, and which needs to be driven by automation and hyper automation, and ensuring less and less of human intervention. It needs to be driven by orchestration. It needs to be driven by the visibility and analytics into your identity and access management for the cloud. Cloud access governance, which is very, very important. Cloud entitlement management, which is very, very important. You need to have visibility and analytics into your workloads, into your people, into the data that you have in the cloud, network, and obviously all the layers of the security that you talk about. Next slide. Here we talk, when you talk about transformation and cloud transformation, given that you are embarking on that journey now, we need to learn from the lessons which people have learned in the other part of the world. So when you talk about cloud, it is very important to take an integrated approach to infrastructure modernization, application modernization, data modernization, and obviously security and compliance, cyber security, as well as some of the emerging technologies which you are looking to embark upon, right? Today Amit already talked about the shared responsibility model of the cloud. It's very important to understand that security for the cloud is the responsibility of the cloud providers, but security in the cloud is still your responsibility, and so hence you need to ensure that you put all the right security measures in place at your end, and not drinking the Kool-Aid that just because you are going on the cloud, you don't have to put some of those controls in place, right? So let me go to the next slide. So what does infrastructure, when we talk about infrastructure modernization, what do we think of? So when we talk about end-to-end cloud transformation and IT transformation for cloud, it includes having a DevOps and a DevSecOps layer within your organization. It includes having cloud architecture and engineering skills within your organization. It includes setting up a defined process for cloud adoption and migration. And obviously security, compliance, and automation is the key, right? Another area which you need to talk about and you need to think about is the area of FinOps. And FinOps is a very, very essential area to keep your eyes on. Otherwise, cloud is not cheap. If you bring the same data center practices in the cloud, you will get a sticker shock, right? So FinOps is an area which you need to focus on and make sure that let me take a back step here. So when you talk cloud transformation, you essentially bringing your organization, transitioning your organization from a SysOps model to a DevOps model, right? And you need to strive to get as close to no ops as possible through hyper automation, right? So that's the entire transformation journey. And obviously, given that cloud is still evolving and tons of new services get launched every quarter, it is important to keep up with these innovations to get the real ROI. So what we have recommended to our customers is the entire CDIM framework that we have launched, called the Continuous Development for Innovation and Maturation. And we will talk more about it as we grow. Another layer, as we talked about, was in addition to infrastructure modernization, is the data modernization. So when you talk about data modernization, it's about bringing first of all, analyzing your existing data, classifying your existing data, labeling your data, encrypting your data, and then having a data platform on the cloud which essentially provides you, with the capabilities right from ingestion all the way to visualization, and and be able to handle critical data, right? When I say critical data, if you are healthcare, then PHI, PII. If you are financial, then it is PCI, and so on and so forth. And this platform, once you go through this data modernization activities on the cloud, will help you from an enterprise data harmonization perspective. It will help you handle critical data. It will help you with the data security and compliance. And then, given that you have already put your data in the cloud and provided your organization with an enterprise data platform, now you will have the ability to do data ops, AIML, ML ops, and whatnot, right? So then now we talk about application modernization, which is the third pillar. So when you talk about the application modernization, again, let's make sure that we are not taking a migration approach. We need to understand which is the cloud native application which can go on the cloud to begin with. We need to start with things like, if you are in the business of building application, how can you use the serverless and containers, the latest and greatest application, framework to develop a new application. You need to analyze your existing application landscape and see how can you modernize your application for the cloud. And obviously things like digital workspace and others helps organization with their application modernization effort. And another area that the cloud will help you essentially is with the existing innovation which is currently happening, whether it is AI, whether it is large language modeling, and whether it is metaverse, which is the new frontier, and organizations are essentially looking to integrate these technologies with their existing applications. Public cloud does allow you and that flexibility to do that on a fly. So we have already talked a lot about identity first zero trust strategy for your security and compliance in the cloud. But the gist of the matter is that you need to design for security, right? You need to have a security by design, zero trust, and automation enabled approaches, which will help you protect workloads across your multi-cloud or a hybrid cloud environment by essentially increasing visibility, reducing the attack surface area, which is critical, because the moment you have this hybrid cloud infrastructure, it essentially broadens the attack surface area that you currently have, and you need to prepare for that, right? And obviously, you have to think about regulatory compliance, which the government is coming out with, and how do you ensure that you put all the necessary security controls and have the necessary visibility in gaining that regulatory compliance. And some of the ways that we have helped our enterprise customer is by ensuring our customer through hyper automation approach in taking a customer from a state of being secured and compliant to continuous security and compliance, right? So always look for any anomalies in your cloud environment, on a continuous basis, which will help you to be compliant at any given at any given point of time. So this is, again, we talk about the identity first. We have already talked a lot about that, and this architecture is something that you need to take a look at, which we have implemented for highly regulated customers in the North American market and in Europe. So it is taking a holistic approach to your security, compliance, and governance, which you build once, so that any workload, data, whatever or whatnot that you drop in the middle automatically inherits the security, compliance, and governance capabilities that you have built once. So if you look on the left side, that is your security layer. If you look on the right side, that is your governance layer. So you put all your security and governance layer once, so that now you are able to essentially bring the workloads into the cloud with peace of mind. And this architecture is something that we have implemented for enterprise customers, highly regulated customers, and this has been implemented for their multi-cloud environment. Now coming back, God bless you. Now coming back to our platforms, and this is more for SMB customers. The customers' requirements are the same, whether you are an enterprise customers or whether you are an SMB customers. Your requirement for security, compliance, and governance on the cloud are the same. The shared responsibility model for the cloud remains the same, irrespective who you are. So our learning, with North American customers, European customers, highly regulated customers, has enabled us, and as I told you in the very beginning, when you talk about infrastructure as a service, it is infrastructure as a code. And given that we have written tons and tons of millions of lines of codes for our customers, we already have them, right? So when we engage with any customers, we don't have to reinvent the wheel. So we bring in our cloud business accelerators, we call it the cloud business accelerators, and we come in with 70-80% cloud ready solution. So to implement this enterprise cloud platform architecture, which accelerates your cloud transformation journey, and obviously from a time perspective and the cost perspective as well. So if somebody comes to me with a question that, hey, you know what, I need one cloud architect, 3 DevOps engineer, for 6 to 9 months because I have to automate my entire CI/CD pipeline. My question to them is, why do you need these people? I'll give you the code. So I'll come in with 90% code ready, 10% I can customize it depending on what you want to use, right? And depending on what tool of your choice is. So it's very important to take an automation centric approach to your cloud transformation journey. I know we have a short video for you.
Infrastructure foundation across multiple clouds. On top of it, they build their applications. But often, organizations end up in unoptimized workloads, poor security posture, manual processes, and buggy deployments, all leading to poor business value from the cloud. What if they could focus only on building applications on top of a pre-built cloud foundation? Introducing Cloud Edge, a multi-cloud pre-built platform. that provides a secure, compliant, and optimized baseline environment for effective and efficient cloud performance. From resource provision, configuration management, monitoring, performance, and governance, Cloud Edge automates your cloud workflows, letting you truly focus on building your core applications. With Cloud Edge, your application is up and running in 48 hours. Secured in a zero-trust architecture. Comes with DevSecOps and FinOps controls. Is compliant with high-trust HIPAA regulations. And through the self-service portal, your developers can access all cloud services on demand. Remember, you're in cloud to build applications, not infrastructure.
Thank you for that video. Appreciate. So we have truly enabled enterprise IT to offer cloud as a service internally to its business through self-service, through governance, with security, compliance, and be able to satisfy any regulatory requirements that you need to meet. This some of our customers, primarily in North America region and Europe, and with all these customers, we have been involved in their end-to-end cloud transformation, and we continue to essentially support them with the DevOps and DevSecOps activities, as well as 24/7 cloud operations. I will keep it quick. I went through a lot of these slides because we already discussed some of these points during the, our panel discussion. So if you have any questions, I'm here to take it.